Juventus were determined to take important points off Roma and close the gap at the top of the table. The hosts started the game with plenty of pressure. Fabrizio Ravanelli scored the first goal at the Stadio delle Alpi. Balbo started as the lone striker for the visitors because Fonseca was injured. But once again, the goal threat came from midfield. Maini scored the equalizer after some nice interplay with Giannini. In the second half, the old lady took the lead once again. Ravanelli scored his second goal when Cervone failed to save his shot. The 2-1 score remained unchanged until injury time. Then Roma were awarded another free kick from a dangerous position. A perfect shot from Abel Balbo equalized the score in literally the last second. The home game against relegation-threatened Foggia should have been a routine task for Lazio, and Venturini's goal was not long in coming. The score remained unchanged for a long time. Rambaudi then scored the second goal. It looked as though Lazio could secure a comfortable victory even without their two injured star strikers, Casiraghi and Signori. But Foggia, who have improved greatly recently, staged a remarkable comeback. Capolini scored from a corner kick by Di Biagio. A few minutes later, they even managed to equalize. Lazio's defense did not look good. Zdenek Zeman's former club was well on its way to securing the half-season championship title for Roma with one match day to spare. Lazio then threw everything forward and were rewarded for their efforts. Diego Fuser's header secured a celebrated victory. This means they are now only 2 points behind the leaders. Bari has had a very good season so far, but they didn't stand a chance in their home game against Milan. After a beautiful pass from Albertini, Simone was alone in front of the goal and cool as ice. The second goal followed the same pattern. This time the pass came from Boban, and once again Simone found himself alone in front of Fontana and kept his cool. Finally, there was even a third goal. Stefano Aranio, who had come on for Lentini, was delighted with his goal. Milan has now moved up to third place. Inter also enjoyed a successful result. The home game against Sampdoria got off to the worst possible start, with a masterpiece from Roberto Mancini, putting the visitors ahead. However, the visitors were reduced to 10 men after 25 minutes when Manini was shown a red card for a harsh foul on Bergkamp. Wignont's corner found defensive midfielder Andreasino, who equalized. The decision was then made by Darko Panchev, a player who had rarely had cause to celebrate in an Inter shirt. Here, he escapes his former teammate from his glory days at Red Star, Siniša Mihajlović, and scores as he did in his best days. In the away game in Florence, Faustino Asprilla scored the opening goal for Parma, after a great pass from Tomas Brolin. But in the second half, the visitors lost control of the game. Bucci was able to save Batistuta's shot, but was powerless to stop Baiano's subsequent shot. Gabriel Batistuta was as reliable as ever from the penalty spot and scored the winning goal. For Parma, it is another missed opportunity to close the gap at the top of the table. Napoli fans witnessed another sobering performance by their team at the Stadio San Paolo. Against Cagliari, who had gone 5 games without a win, there was absolutely nothing to be gained. Once again, this was due to the strong attack of the Sardinian team. Roberto Muzzi was the outstanding player. With his second goal just a few minutes later, Muzzi secured the win early on. Things were about to get even worse for Diego Maradona's former club. This time, Muzzi set up the play, and Deli Valdés scored the third and final goal for the visitors. Cremonese had to do without their best player, Enrico Chiesa, in their home game against Brescia and suffered a disappointing defeat. Maurizio Neri scored the goal of the day for the visitors from Brescia. The situation at the bottom of the table remains very tight. This was not least due to the result of the match between Genoa and Padova. Both teams showed serious defensive problems. When the visitors took the lead, Longhi was completely unmarked in the penalty area and was able to finish with ease. Genoa's equalizer was particularly bizarre. Goalkeeper Bonaiuti initially managed to save the ball, but then he deliberately obstructed his teammate Creek as he attempted to clear the ball. Ruotolo gratefully accepted the gift. The fact that this mistake ultimately had no consequences was down to Damiano Longo. Thanks to his magnificent goal, the visitors were able to take all 3 points from the Stadio Luigi Ferraris and move ahead of their opponents in the table. Even Abedi Pelé was unable to score in the goalless draw between Reggiana and Torino. Roma face Cremonese at home next week, while Lazio travel to Brescia and must hope their rivals slip up. With matches between Foggia and Reggiana, as well as Torino and Genoa, teams from the relegation zone will face each other directly. The race for top scorer remains exciting, while Giannini still confidently leads the list of assist providers. Next week, the 17th match day will take place to conclude the first half of the season. Thank you for watching, and see you then.